Welcome, and thank you for joining for another whiskey review. Today, we're going to take a look at the Kilkerran Heavily Peated Batch 9. Dustin, 59.2% ABV, and no longer does it say peat in progress. Now it just says small batch. What does that mean, Dustin? Progress. That's what it means.
I'm a little disappointed with Kilkerran for not giving us an age statement, as I was expecting, all right, we're going to state the age when we drop that. But hey, fair enough. From what I do know, Mike, 90-10 bourbon sherry, and I'm hearing, but I don't know for a fact, this may be kind of the standard they do going forward. If you guys recall, the last one we did, and I can't remember which batch, but that one was a much heavier sherried version than this.
Batch 9, Dustin. A little kiss of sherry, huh?
Just a kiss. And you know what the funny thing is, Mike? Yeah. I looked at the color and I instantly said, I bet you that's 10% sherry.
Dustin, you're good. I tell you what, no one can say you can't eyeball it. But that does bring up a good point. Natural color,
yep,
unfiltered. Kilkerran, a distillery that has definitely grown on me, as well as you, I would believe, over some time here.
Well, they started off as one of my favorites, and then they fell off a massive cliff, and they have since rebounded and come back. They're not quite back to where I was the first time I had them, though, but I'm still buying it, and I'll tell you right now, ahead of time, guys, I'm glad I bought this one.
Funky Bananas Foster.
It is dirty, very barnyard. This to me is barnyard. This is hay all day.
Hay and wood slats.
It's drying. It's dusty. Mm-hmm. I'll be point blank, guys. It is not a good smell, in my opinion. This is earthy Scotch in my least favorite vein on the nose.
Come on, it's not that bad.
No, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's the least favorite for me. This is not where I like.
Buddy, you got beautiful vanilla here. You got a lovely Bananas Foster. Yeah, it's on the ground, and a couple people have walked on it.
I do get some lemon lime. I do get some kind of mossy rock, kind of reminiscent of, say, a Lafroig. Actually, Lafroig 18, very specifically.
There's a nice underlying sweetness here.
The underlying notes I actually really, really like. There's a depth and richness under that initial, but that initial hay note is just not my thing. And I've already opened with I'm glad I bought this, so I just want to point out where I do have issues.
It's like a decadent tray of super posh desserts meets Tombstone the movie. It's like there's sweet, there's pastries, there's some delicate fruits in the background, and nice smells. Almost flat. There's some flower notes, a little floral thing in the background. Almost a twinge of lilac or something.
But it's so drying, you expect to see those like one of those dust ball things. That
tumbleweed, just rolling through, just no one's here though. As soon as you do the pan out, you realize you're all by yourself in the wilderness.
I'm not getting that Bananas Foster. That's the thing.
Man, that's always that sugar. A banana split, sort of.
Like a little hint
of just the vanilla ice cream.
Like a little hint of wood glue.
If you had a banana split with just ice cream, with just vanilla ice cream.
Touch of nail polish remover as well coming through.
There's something almost a twinge of acidic.
The funny thing here is, Mike, it's not super alcohol forward. It's not biting like you'd expect it. Mm-hmm. 59, but I am getting a distinct alcohol note like that nail polish remover.
Is it that, or is it just lemon? Because that nail polish, would you call a nail polish remover? I'm guessing it's just a very tart lemon in your eye lemon.
I could see that. Yeah, I could see that. It's very dry.
To me, this is more fruity than some of the. I think we're kicking around the same flavors, but
it's very fruity.
Yeah, so I can go bananas, super tart orange, or excuse me, super tart lemon.
Oh, I've had enough of the nose. I'm going to jump right into the taste.
This isn't a bad nose. I mean, I wouldn't say this is 10 or 12-year-old whiskey. It's probably single-digit age whiskey, but for the high ABV and that, I mean, it doesn't come off on the nose that way.
Oh, buddy. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. So, on the palate, it is a massive, huge whiskey. Absolutely mouth-coating. It's got the lemons, it's got pineapple, it's got some lime. And then, there's a little bit of young, drying kind of notes up front. And then the transition to the finish hits you with this wallop of 15, 20-year-old Scotch, man. I'm telling you, it's got a transition that you would expect on something like a Lafroig 18. And it's got that earthy mineral notes. It's got little bit of like you're by a pond, but all of it through with this like very sharp lemon, as you kept talking about.
Sharp lemon.
Really, I mean, it's explosively flavorful.
Yeah,
unbelievable, and it gets even more flavorful on the finish.
You're right. It's a big whiskey.
Crazy.
Big whiskey on the palate. Hardcore lemon. Hard to get past it. Lemon, a little bit of vanilla oak for me here on the sides. The lemon is so bright and so stinging. It's almost like you woke up from a nap and it's high noon and it's everything shining in your eye. And you're on the water, so you can't even look and there's a reflection of the water there. Like everywhere you look is sunshine. So bright. Good mouthfeel, oily. I mean, it came off aggressive, but it wasn't alcohol aggressive. It was just flavor aggressive.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like you had some kind of like sour candy where you're just like, oh, I was not expecting that.
Stinging, prickly.
Yeah.
Acidic.
And go back in for a second when before if you need to figure out, get past it, man.
Yeah.
Because it's a punch. I mean, it is Mike Tyson level, just wallop.
Oh, man.
I mean, there's not a ton of different flavors in there, but there are 3 or 4 different fruits. But it's just that way it transitions for me into that just really intense, rich finish where it, again, gives me like some real age notes. The Arrival definitely comes off as young whiskey. Full disclosure there.
Yeah, it's aggressive. I mean, but again, I don't get alcohol. Young,
no.
But not alcohol.
Again, it doesn't come off as like bad young. It's just, you're aware that it's youthful still. My guess is it's 5 or 6 year old whiskey with up to 9-year-old whiskeys in it.
Lemons, pineapple, a little bit of mango maybe. Oof. Concentrated.
It's big.
And in your eye. Woo! It's an aggressive one.
Ooh. Now with water, Mike, the nose now has lost a lot of that hay, and now it's actually giving almost like a French vanilla note.
Now, like, the white creme brulee is almost whipping up.
Slightly smoked, a little flame on it.
Oh, lovely, Dustin.
Lemon loaf coming through now. You always like to say.
Yes. Very Kalila-esque lemon loaf. Lemon meringue pie. A little bit of white icing.
The lime notes I've lost it here, which I really enjoyed initially, but
I needed to take a step back. That was assertive.
I like the lime.
I like lime too.
It gives me Lafroig notes, which I like. This, you're right, it's more Kalila-esque.
It's heavy on the lime.
Surprisingly cleaned it up too. I mean, just in general, it's fairly clean. Mm-hmm.
I get more out of it that way. This way with water for sure. I mean, again, the fruits are still there. Lovely. Get a little wisp of chocolate here, like throughout the mid palate and the finish. Something is almost coming off seashore-esque. I would say clams, maybe something along those lines.
Okay.
Like clams. I mean, again, it's not an overly complicated whiskey.
No. I did lose a nice transition on the finish, so for me, I would never do this with water because that was really what blew me away initially. However, it is cleaner. It's easier. You're right. It's more approachable with a little drop of water.
It's aggressive. Even for a cask strength lover, it's aggressive citrus.
It brings in a lot more the sweetness. The malty character comes through more. And yet, it's subsided that hay note, which I really have never enjoyed in the Kilkerran line. Peat's beautiful here. The peat comes through lovely on the finish. This is, I think, a higher ppm than even like some of the Southern Islas, I believe. I'd have to double check that.
Yeah, because their range. Yeah, this says heavily peated. The Southern Isla, their range isn't what you think it would be. You would thought like Lagavulin was heavier, and they aren't.
If I'm not mistaken, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I've heard somebody say that they're heavily peated, maybe up to like 50 ppms.
That would be heavier. Yeah. I think the best of them are only 40 something.
And I mean, this has definitely got a lot. I think the peat's going to come out so much better on this whiskey with some age. I have never been more excited about a peated young whiskey than I am with these Kilkerran now because I see this being something epic at 20 years old.
Yeah, can't wait to get there.
Yeah, it's going to be a little while though.
All right, Dustin, whiskey score time. Your bottle, I'll go first. Enjoyable whiskey. I've had a nice time with this whiskey. A little hard. It does a lot of things I like. High ABV, cask strength. It has a pretty strong mouthfeel. I'm not huge. I like citrus as a compliment or something walking hand in hand with something else, like a smoke note or something like that. So it is a bit disjointed for me. I'm in an 87 out of 100, which is giving it the higher of my 2 scores.
So, Mike, I get where you're going from.
Mm-hmm.
Totally makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting this, and I just went back and tasted again, and that transition, it's right back. So, ignore me when I said I lost it with water.
Oh, there you
Came
go.
right back.
There you go.
So now I'm confidently saying this is an 88 for me, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
It's to get into that 88 range, you have to do something to me that's getting into like exceptional, and that finish to me really is. The rest of the whiskey is a little bit lacking, and I do think the nose is weak. But I value that finish so much that I'm giving it, a 2-point bump. Because to me, I'd probably be an 86, kind of like you were saying, without that finish. That finish, man, it just...
We're kicking around the same number.
Thank you.
87 was a good one.
I could even be talked into an 89 if it smelled a little better up front.
All right, guys, you got a chance to try this Kilkerran heavily peated batch 9. Let us know what you guys think. High ABV was a 59.2? 59.2. Yep. Big ABV. 60's no joke, especially with single malt scotches. So you guys had a chance to try, so I'd love to know what you guys think. Justin, until next time, what do we wish the folks?
Happy, it's ready to drink.
Drinking. See you next time.